What's going on, guys? It's Steven from the BS Show, and let's talk about this fun fight. Sean O'Malley will be taking on Marlon Chito Vera at UFC 252, and this is a fun one. This one's actually been in the making for a minute now. I know Sean O'Malley's been trying to fight Marlon Vera, and it's now just finally coming to fruition. But let's go ahead and break this one down. Starting off with Sean O'Malley. If you don't know, which you probably do, Sean O'Malley came from Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series, and he's probably the biggest star to arise from that show. And he's been looking like an absolute beast in the UFC. Had a little bit of time off because he popped for estrogen, which he says that he didn't really take, and it was such small samples. We've seen this again and again, so you saw it as raise the level for how much estrogen and how much of this stuff could be in your body. But regardless, ever since he's been back, he's been looking like an absolute monster, dominating his fights, both first round knockouts, and this is going to be his third fight in 2020, so he's making up for lost time. And I've been really hyped on this kid. I'm excited to see what he's going to do in the future of the UFC, and he's taken on a very good opponent in Marlon Vera. Marlon Vera has been on a tear of his own. He recently lost his last fight to Song Yong Don, coming out of Team Alpha Male, who Song Yong Dong's a killer in his own. I mean, the kid's looking good every fight I've seen him fight, but many people think Marlon Vera actually won that fight, including me. So you could almost argue that Marlon Vera should be on a 9-fight win streak, which is impressive in the UFC, where the talent is as elite as it gets. So this is a great match and opportunity for Sean O'Malley to prove that he is the real deal and he's not just a hype train like some people still think he is. Sean O'Malley's kind of resembling Conor McGregor when Conor McGregor was on his rise and everyone was doubting him. Even I was doubting him. This fight to me versus Marlon Vera kind of resembles Conor McGregor's fight against Dustin Poirier. In my opinion, when Conor McGregor fought Dustin Poirier, that was the real test in my eyes to see how good Conor McGregor is. And for Sean O'Malley, this is his test versus a vet in Marlon Vera to see how good Sean O'Malley really is. Is he hype or is it all legitimate? We will see. I'm excited for this one. But if we had to compare both of these guys' experience and skills, we got to give the cage experience to Marlon Vera, just because he's been in there with more guys and has been in the UFC for longer. He's fought fighters like John Lineker. He's beaten Brian Kelleher. He's beaten Brad Pickett. So he's beaten some really good name fighters. But on the other hand, we got to give the striking advantage to Sean O'Malley because the kid's a wizard on the feet. I mean, he's great at switching stance. He's lengthy. He's tricky with his striking and his feints. And also, he's a master at using his kicks. I mean, it's almost like he throws more kicks than he does strikes. And then on the BJJ side, I kind of want to give it to Marlon Vera. I feel like he has better BJJ, but when Sean O'Malley did have his time off, he was doing jiu-jitsu tournaments, and he subbed Takanori Gomi, and I think he tied Gilbert Melendez, who Gilbert Melendez trains with the Diaz brothers and has sick jiu-jitsu. So that shows how far Sean O'Malley's jiu-jitsu's come. Also, he's a very lengthy guy, and his best friend Tim Welch owns a BJJ gym. But I'm going to give this edge to Marlon Vera just because we haven't seen enough of Sean O'Malley's jiu-jitsu inside the cage. So overall, I'm going to go with Sean O'Malley to win this fight. I just feel like he's on a shooting star to the moon. I mean, he's on a rocket ship. This kid just looks good, and I don't think it's hype. I think the kid is the real deal, but we will see. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Who are you going for? And do you think Sean O'Malley's the real deal? Or are you still thinking he's a hype train? Will this fight, if he beats Marlon Vera, will you believe that he's the real deal? Or do you want to see him fight a couple more named fighters before you give him that credit? But that's it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, think about subscribing because 2020 has been kind of crappy. I have coronavirus. I'm just now getting over it. So I've had a rough year. So a subscription to the channel really warms my heart and soul. I'm being sincere here and genuine. I want to grow this channel and we're on our way. So thank you guys. Love ya. Peace.